Welcome back to the PANDA'S Pet Pampering YouTube channel. In this video I'm going to give you a brief rundown of my equipment and scissors that I take with me to every appointment. I hope you find this video helpful. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel. We'd love to have you. So let's get started. First of all, sorry for my tripod foot appearing in this video. I literally couldn't film it without it somewhere being in the video. So sorry about that. But anyway, this is my main toolkit bag. I take this everywhere with me. In the front pocket I have my first aid kit, and this isn't by any means everything that you need. I ideally would like to have more things in here, but I am limited for size, so I've kind of got my basic emergency kit. In here I have some form of salve. I haven't actually used this yet, but I must admit, with the summer and with lots of no doubt burnt pads we're going to be having from hot tarmac, I'm glad I've got something because I think this may be useful. It's basically just a natural salve that treats hot spots, cuts, grazes, bites, stings and sores. You basically, just like a Vaseline, just put it on the area and it helps sort of treat any burns or any sort of sore spots really. So this is useful. I'm definitely glad I've got it. Like I say, I haven't used it yet, but that doesn't mean I won't. And I like to be prepared, so this is definitely in there. And then more importantly, I have some antiseptic skincare. Now this is really important because you never know, if you discover an injury on a pet, obviously you need to be able to treat that before you take them to the vet, and antiseptic skincare I think is essential. And this is a fast acting formula which I really like, and it apparently doesn't sting on application. Now I can't be sure of this, but I like to think that I'm getting the best possible treatment for my pets, so that's why I purchased this. And it's really easy to apply. It's just a dropper, so you can put it directly onto the area, or you can put a bit of cotton pad or something and apply it that way if that's easier. But I have used this and it is useful and it did work, so yeah, that's in there. And then my last thing which is in here, which I think is essential for any pet groomer, and that is some form of coagulant. I use Trimx, not particularly for any reason, just that I have this. It's to stop any bleeding. So if you're cutting nails, you're going to guarantee at some point, whether you mean to or not, you're going to cut a quick while trimming nails. So it's best to be prepared for that. Don't leave it and think, oh, that won't happen to me. It will, and if you're already prepared, it will make it a lot easier. So definitely get something like this that will stop any bleeding. You'll certainly appreciate it, trust me. So that's the first pocket of my bag, and like I say, I take this with me everywhere. So in an emergency, I do have some form of first aid that I can apply to my customers. So that is that. And next, in this larger pocket, this is where I store most of my tools. So I have two kinds of slicker brushes. As you can see, they are different. The head sizes are a little bit different, and I apologise, the bristles are starting to go, so I'm gonna have to replace this guy soon. But I don't carry a lot of brushes with me. Because slickers are so useful for all kinds of coat, I basically just carry two slicker brushes with me. This one does have slightly firmer bristles, whereas this one is a little bit softer. So they're ideal really, and I must admit I haven't missed having any other kind of brushes so far. If I do, then I will obviously purchase some, but so far these guys are doing me very well. Thank you guys. And then I have a mat breaker. These come in loads of different styles. I personally don't like spending time dematting pets, so I only have this tool. This is in an emergency and I don't really use it unless I absolutely have to. I much prefer to basically just cut out mats, and I do say this to people, and to be honest, if you see this tool you think that looks pretty scary. So most people, when I explain what exactly this will have to do to get the mat out of their pet's coat, most people think, okay, just cut them out, which suits me. But again, I like to be prepared, so I have this guy with me just in case. And then I also have my trusty nail clippers, and these are just a basic pair that I got again from Groomers. They are the small size. I didn't bother buying the larger size cutters purely because the breeds that I do have small nails, so it's something else I don't have to carry around with me. So these are perfect for the work I do, and I'm very happy with them. They may need replacing at some point because sort of the bits get a bit wobbly after a while, but yeah, these are my nail cutters. And then inside here I have two combs, and again these are just a generic grooming combs. I found they're really useful for what I do. I like that they're metal, so they're easy to disinfect, and you've got the two sort of lengths of tooth, which I find helpful. This guy is really old and will need replacing because obviously he's starting to lose some teeth, but these are pretty good for now, so I'm happy with them. And then I think in here is literally just my dirty scissors. Now these guys are for anything that I don't want to really touch. They're not particularly sharp, they're a really cheap pair of scissors, but if you've got sort of a dirty bum that you need trimming or anything like that, I even, which is terrible to admit this, I use this to open some bottles occasionally if I need to. That's how much I respect and love these scissors. But like I say, they're just a general kind of, I need to do something and I don't want to ruin my scissors. These are the guys I call on, so they're in there. And then I also have my trusty tick remover set, because you never know when you're going to see a tick. And again, preparation is key. So this cost me, as you've probably seen in my tick twister review video, and I will link it up above. These are great and they work, and I kind of feel if I have them with me, I'm reducing the chance of needing them, although that's probably not going to happen. But still, preparation is key, people. So I always have my tick twister remover set with me. And literally just a load of junk left. I've got my fingers for my scissors and a piece of leather just in case I need to clean my scissors or sharpen them. So that's in there. Probably doesn't need to be, but that is that bag. Okay, so on to scissors. This is a set of roseline scissors that I purchased from Groomers online. I wasn't entirely sure when I first started my business what kind of scissors I wanted, so I figured getting sort of a general purpose set would be a good way to start. Inside the set I got these 8.5-inch straight scissors, and they are really good. They're a basic set of scissors, they're not going to be life-changing, but at the time I wanted to just spend what I had to on scissors and see how I got on. And these guys are pretty good workhorses and I'm really happy with them. So they came in the set. I also got a pair of thinning scissors, and again I'll link all the information in the description box below so you can find these guys. And these are great, and they've really kept a really sharp line, which I'm really happy about. So that's great. And then also a smaller pair of straight scissors, which are great for sort of around the eyes, feet, that kind of thing. So yeah, that was my basic set of scissors. And at the time I also bought these. They were separate and they were in the more basic sort of line of scissors, but these are again roseline scissors, and they're bull-nosed scissors, which I personally really like using. They're great for puppies when you're doing around their eyes for the first time, because that's scary for them and us. And they're great for things like feet and pads as well, just where you don't want to cause any unnecessary suffering by accidentally nicking anybody. I always use these guys. They don't keep their sharpness as well as other scissors, but they are sort of a basic cheap pair of scissors, so that's what I use them for. And when they die, I will replace them. I probably won't bother sharpening them because it wouldn't be worth the money, but while they're still working I am going to use them. And I keep my scissors in the bag they came in. It's pretty easy. They do slip about, so it's not ideal, but I love that it's so brightly coloured, so when they're in my grooming bag it's easy to just grab the set of scissors that I'm looking for, which is awesome. So that's them. And then we have my other set of scissors. Now when my roselines needed sharpening I panicked, because I was thinking, where am I going to get more scissors to use while my potential scissors are away being sharpened? So I went on Amazon, because I'm cheap like that, and I bought a set of cheap scissors, and this is them. I will find out what they are called. I believe they are, let me have a look, Kingstar? Yeah, Kingstar. So they came with some curved scissors, as you can see. Now this was my first experience of using curved scissors, and I must say I love them and they're so useful, and we'll go more into curved scissors in a minute, but these are great. And yes, they haven't kept their sharpness very long, and I'm debating whether I will or won't sharpen them, because with cheap scissors, to be honest, you don't expect a lot for them. You really get what you pay for with scissors, and everyone always says don't buy cheap scissors, save the money and buy better quality scissors because they'll last you longer. But at the time I just needed a pair of scissors that I could use, and they're still going after a couple of weeks, but yeah, they're not going to last forever. And yes, so they came with a pair of straight scissors as well, which are good, and a pair of thinning scissors. Now these are quite scary looking thinning scissors. To me they look more like chunkers, not exactly chunkers, but they're a lot thicker in the teeth than my other thinning scissors, but they do a really good job and I'm really happy with them. These will probably last me longer because I tend to use my rose lines more, but yeah, we'll see. So they came in this leather case, which I'm pretty happy about because it's another really good case for keeping scissors in. The only problem is it's not very visible in my bag, so it tends to fall right to the bottom. When I'm trying to find it, it's frustrating. Sorry about the oil there. But yeah, they're pretty good. I'm pretty happy with them. They weren't the worst quality scissors I could have bought, so thumbs up on that one. And then after that, I decided I was going to spend a bit of money, and I bought some buttercuts by Geib. I never know how to pronounce that. And they came again in this leather case, which is great. The only trouble is you get hair sticking to it, which is so annoying. But yeah, not the end of the world. And I must admit, when I purchased these and tried these out, I suddenly realised what everyone was saying: buy better quality scissors, because it really does make a difference. Again, these are curved, and they're slightly more curved than the Kingstar set, but I love these. They're awesome. They make a really cute squeaky noise when they cut, which is sad. I like that, but it's true. Yeah, the finish is completely different, and I'm definitely going to look after these. I will get them sharpened regularly because I think if I take care of them, they will last me a long time. And yeah, I'm hoping that one day when I can afford it, I'll replace pretty much all my scissors with Geib, or a better quality set at least. But for now, I'm doing it sort of one at a time. So yeah, they live in here, and I just keep them zipped up in here because it's so much safer. So I know where they are at all times. So yeah, that is currently scissors. And as you can see, we're going to go on to blades. I have two pairs of PANDA'S clippers. They're the AGC2 clippers, and these are all pretty much the blades that I have for them. I keep them in this pouch, which I believe is also, yes, PANDA'S. I got this off Amazon for about £5 and I love it. I love that it's really flexible, so you can really tuck it in. It's easy to find in my bag, and yeah, it doesn't take up loads of room, which is awesome. I didn't really want like a fixed case for my blades because being mobile, I'm hauling that bag around a lot of times a day, which is frustrating. So anything that's lighter and easier is going to be a bonus. So yeah, let's go into what blades I have. My first set, and you can tell I'm very OCD in that I keep them in sort of their little friendship groups. As you can see, it's lovely. I have 3 10 blades. I'll get them out so you can actually see them. Yeah, this is my first blade. It's an ultra edge blade. As you can see, it's an PANDA'S blade. So I decided to get one 10 blade when I first started, and then realised I needed way more than one. So I purchased a second one, and I decided to make a mark on the blades so that I knew which one would be used for sort of dirty work and which one would be a clean blade. So I must admit I'm not perfect at this, but I try and use the blade with the blue dot for pre-bath clipping. And then this one is sharper, so it's better for after bath. So any sort of clean hair, I use that on. It's nice to have that choice, I think, so that I'm basically taking better care of one of my blades at least. But yeah, so that's why one of them has a random blue dot on it. And then this guy came with my second pair of clippers. It's actually a ceramic edge blade, and I wasn't thrilled about that because when I bought my clippers, it said it would be an ultra edge blade. So I was a bit gutted, because I know with ceramic blades you have to be so careful with them. If you use them on dirty hair, they either won't cut very well or the ceramic will break, so you have to be really careful with ceramic blades. But it's a good chance to try one out. I wouldn't have purchased one myself, but now that I have one, I'm going to use it. But yeah, I don't use this on any dirty hair. This is kind of a backup to this guy. So yeah, I'm not sorry I have him, but it's not ideal. And then down here I have my 7 blades. Now I bought this guy because I wanted to try it out. I haven't really used it, to be honest. I tend to use my 7FC just because it's scary looking, and most of the time I can get away with using my 7FC, but this is a backup 7. In hindsight, I probably would have been better off buying a 7FC, as it is a more common blade that I use, but I wanted to try it. So yeah, he lives in there. And yeah, my 7FC, which is pretty much, if not this guy, then my 5FC are the blades I use the most. So the minute I had enough money, I definitely knew I needed to get another one of these. I like to have at least 2 of every blade. I don't yet, but that's the goal. So he lives in there. And yes, it does bug me that there's an empty person here, but he will be filled soon. And then I have, if I can open it, my 5 blades. So I have a 5F blade, and this guy is an Oster blade. And I must admit, he's pretty blunt already, so I'm not thrilled about that. This is the newer blade, so I don't know if that's me or whether that's just the blade. But he's going to need sharpening soon, which is slightly devastating because I haven't actually used him that much. But anyway, and then this guy I've had for years. This is my 5FC, and that is an Andis blade. And yeah, he's pretty much the one I call on the most. Sorry, my camera decided to die on me. So as I was saying, this is my 5FC, and yeah, I use it pretty much the most. It's a really popular length, I find, and of course you can reverse cut with it, so a 5 becomes a 7 blade, which is awesome. If this guy got too overheated and I didn't want to use my skip tooth blade, I can use this guy as a backup 7, which is really helpful. And then this guy, poor thing, is my oldest blade, and sadly he is becoming a tiny bit rusty, which I'm really upset about. And this is the only guy I have that's 3 3/4, and he again is one of my most popular lengths. I do have some extended blades, sort of clip-on attachments, so at a push I can use those, but I personally love this guy and I will replace him as soon as possible, and then probably buy a couple because it's worth having a backup, definitely. But yeah, I love this guy and I use him an awful lot, and he's a really great length for a lot of the customers that I have, sort of Cavachons, that kind of breed. They look really nice on this length. So that's about everything. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you have, please consider giving it a thumbs up. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel as well, and we'll see you again soon.